would Pope Francis spark a generation of young men to discern the priesthood who maybe aren't as interested in traditional liturgy, who maybe are a little more politically liberal, who maybe are even more theologically progressive? To the extent we have answers to that, the answers seem very strongly to be no, no, and no. Not only are the young men being ordained during Pope Francis's pontificate actually more conservative than the priests who were ordained under Benedict XVI, they also have a more complicated relationship to Pope Francis himself. When polled, priests who were ordained before 1980 overwhelmingly love the job that Pope Francis is doing. About 80% of them say they strongly approve of the job he's doing, compared to 1% who strongly disapprove. In contrast, among priests ordained since 2010, the numbers are much more split. 20% strongly approve, and 21% strongly disapprove. What went from an 80-to-1 split between strong approval to strong disapproval is now a 1-to-1 split, with slightly more strongly disapproving. Now, it's arguably unseemly even ask the question, hey, how do you think the Vicar of Christ is doing? But I think questions like this can help to shed light on the reality of the situation, of the relationship that can be kind of complex or tense at times between these young priests and their Pope. Now, it's important to caveat that by saying, while many of them clearly struggle with Pope Francis's governance style, they are nevertheless overwhelmingly supportive of the fact that they report to a Pope. 67% of priests in the cohort of priests ordained since 2000 agree that they value their accountability to the Pope, versus 82% of those ordained before 1980. Similarly, 64% of priests under the age of 45 agreed that they value accountability to Pope Francis, compared to 82% of priests over the age of 75. So while younger priests have some qualms with Pope Francis, the numbers do show a filial respect and obedience to the Pope, even if they don't always agree about everything that he says and does.